Okay, I'm looking for some olive oil because that's my primary go-to for cooking. So the pompino is 32 ounces for $11.99, right? The Filipino, and this is just the regular olive oil, virgin extra virgin, is $10.99. This is 25 ounces, and this one is 32 for $11.99. This is $10.99. So for $1 more, I'm getting a few more ounces. So my bet is this one here. It's organic, but it has the mother in it, and it's raw and it's unfiltered. And down there, you see all that stuff in there, if you can see it, that's the mother floating in there. All that's the good stuff for your gut. So I need this. Hey y'all, welcome back to Basics by Barbara Ann. This afternoon we're going to do some smothered pork chops and gravy with onions. Now I will say this, I'm using pork chops. You can use chicken, you can use turkey chops, you can use beef, whatever your heart desires. Don't judge me. Okay, let's get started. Here we have 2 pork chops, and I like the steak cut because they're nice and fatty. I do use the center cut sometimes, but these were on sale, if you know what I'm talking about. All right, we have 1 large onion sliced. I have 3 tablespoons of flour. That will be for our gravy later. And then I have flour just to coat our pork chops. All right, so we're going to get to stepping. Okay, first I'm going to add some onion powder. I'm going to season them. Onion powder, don't ask me how much. Just do it as you feel as though that's what you want. And I'm not adding any salt. You don't see a salt shaker here. I'm not heavy on salt. And I'm going to tell you that staying off that salt works for me. But this little baby right here has a little bit of salt in it. So when I use this in my gravy, that's why I don't need no salt. I'm just using the basics, some onion powder, some garlic powder, and I always buy the granulated. I don't like the fine powders. I like the granulated. I think they work better. That's for me. Do what you want to do, but that's for me. And I'm just season this up real good. And let me say this. I'm moving too quick. I already have prepped everything, and I already have washed my nasty little hands. So now what I'm going to do is rub all that seasoning into that meat real good, get it all in there, make sure everything is coated evenly. Okay, some of you for your channel's sake, you put on your gloves. I'm at home. This is what I normally do. I want my videos to be like what I normally do. I want nothing different or nothing, strange. So anyway, my hands are kind of dirty right now. So I'm going to rinse them off. Okay, so I washed my hands and got all the seasonings off. So now what I'm going to do, remove my splatter guard because I don't want that grease splattering all over my stove. And I cook with olive oil. This particular olive oil has an extra light taste, so it's good for sauteing, baking, and frying. So I'm going to add my olive oil to my pan. What I'm getting ready to do is just lightly fry these because they're going to cook. They're not going to really cook on the stove. I'm just trying to get a covering for them, nice coating, and then I'm going to put them in the oven to actually bake. Okay, so we're over here at the stove now, and we're going to flour our pork chop and put it in the hot grease. so we can get a little crust on it. Make sure your grease is good and ready, because you don't want it just sitting in cold grease, because it's going to soak up the oil and it's not going to come out like you want it. So I just get this all nice and floured. And this is a big one, so I'm trying to get it really coated. I just want a crust, because we're going to use flour again when we're making our gravy. So now we have those frying. And I love gas. My stove is a gas range. Wash my hands. Okay, so we've been cooking these on one side because they're thick for like 5 minutes. Now I'm going to turn them. And like I said, they're pretty big. I'm going to turn them. I just wanted a nice crust on the outside of the chop, which we have. See that nice golden brown. Hey. And time to mix up that gravy on this. What you talking about? Woo! You talking about something good. So let's flip this back over. That grease everywhere. So I ain't cleaning the stove like that. Okay. Now we've taken our pork chops out. They're fried on both sides. They have a nice brown coating. Woo! I'm telling you, I don't know if y'all can smell this, and I know you can't. But just imagine the aroma going on in my house right now. Whoo! Tell you, smelling up something good in here. So anyway, they're in a particular pot. This is my Dutch oven, and it's cast iron, but it's coated, and it cooks so good. Beans, what you talking about in the wintertime? Whew! I'm telling you, some good food can come out of these type of pots. A lot of people don't like them because they're very heavy, but I can deal with that. So let's keep it moving. We're going to do our gravy. Now, in this frying pan, let me turn this off for a minute. We have the drippings from the pork chops that we fried lightly. Mind you, they're not done, so don't be trying to eat them. They're not done cooking. And in this pan, we have the drippings from the flour and the meat, and a little bit of the oil, the olive oil that we fried the pork chops in. And somebody might say, you frying food with olive oil? You have to read the labels, because you have two types of olive oil. You have one for sauteing, frying, stir frying. You have another one that's for marinades and for salads. That's usually your extra virgin olive oils. So you just have to know what to purchase for whatever product you're going to be using it for. So what we're getting ready to do now, we're going to brown the flour. So this is 3 tablespoons of flour. I don't think I'm going to need all that, but I just added it in there to make sure. And I added to the oil. And what's going to happen now is we're cooking the flour. I've seen people do this, and they immediately take the flour and automatically say, okay, then they add their liquid. The reason I don't do that and I brown it, first of all, that's not what I was showed when I was growing up. You know, we brown it till it gets a nice dark brown. You're not burning it, because you still can burn this flour. And you're just going to gently cook the flour up until it's brown, like a darker brown, before you add any liquid to it. So while that's browning, I just added 1 pack of my chicken broth. So it's bouillon. I added 1 pack to my water, because my water, this is going to be flavored into my gravy. Now, if you notice when I started this process, it looks like it's all mixed. when I started this process, I did not add any salt. Because this little bugger here has salt in it. And it has a lot of salt. So I didn't add that. So now we're back over here to our gravy. And it's called a roux. That's what it's called. So I'm cooking the roux that's going to go on top of pork chops. And as you can see, it's now starting to turn that brown caramel color that I was telling you about. Let me turn my hood system on, because my fire alarm is definitely going to go off. Okay, y'all gonna have to stand by. Keep showing it. Okay, I'm back. My smoke alarms are so sensitive. Thank God for it. Oh, thank God. Because the least little smoke, you don't have to see it nowhere else in the house. And the smoke alarms will go off. So I take a fan and put up under the thing so it won't go off. So that's what I was doing. Now, as you can see, this is so pretty. Nice and brown. Reminds you of milk chocolate. That's a good color to equate this with. So you want that golden milk chocolate caramelized color. Then I'm going to add my raw onions. And we're going to fry them in there. So what we're doing is layering flavors. I worked in the prison system for many years. And when I trained my cooks, I was a kitchen officer. And when I trained my cooks to cook large volume meals, I always taught them, layer your flavors. Just don't put your flavors in one area or on just the meat and nothing else. You have to layer flavors. And the more you layer them, the more flavor you would get. And like I said, you don't need a whole lot of salt. We need salt for our bodies, don't get me wrong. But for people that have high blood pressure, you don't need all that salt. There's other ways to season your food, make your food taste better. Okay. Alright, so we've sauteed and cooked our onions just for a few minutes, maybe 3 to 4 minutes. You don't want to cook them until they're all the way done. But you want to cook them until they release the oil out of them so it can flavor everything. Right here I have 4 cups of chicken broth. And I'm going to add this to this. I'm going to start off with 2.5 cups. Because I want to make sure that the gravy thickens up. So what I'm doing now is making sure that all the flour that was on the bottom, that all the roux is being incorporated with that chicken broth. The chicken broth is just, once again, another extra layer of flavor. Okay, now the gravy, like I said, we were stirring it. We got the onions in here. We added our broth. And now you can see after about 5 minutes, it got nice and thick. I don't want it real thick because that pork chop has flour, a flour coating. Now, someone that's real carb conscientious might say, well, you got flour in your gravy and you got flour on your meat. You can just sear them pork chops like a steak and put them in there without the flour. I do it both ways. But I think on my channel I have sauteed pork chops, so that's why I didn't go that route this time. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn my heat all the way down on low, and I'm going to season the gravy. Add a little bit of pepper and get that in there. I don't want to add all the spices at one time because then you're going to get lumps, and I don't want lumps. And you can add a little bit for those, and I have done it. Add a little bit of cream to your gravy. Believe it or not, it really enhances the flavor. And then I'm gonna add some more onion powder. And you might say, oh my God, she loves onions. My baby sister told me, she said, you just love too many onions, and I don't like to crunch them. I love onions. I guess because I know that they're healthy for you, but I love me some onions. Now, I ain't gonna say they shouldn't give the same love back, because after I eat them, I gotta take some Tums. And then I'm add a little bit of garlic, not much. Garlic overpowers food. And I'm not gonna be running around tomorrow in church and somebody said, woo, she smelled just like garlic. The devil is a liar. Woo. You know, and I'm sitting here cooking, and I just wanted to say, I thank God because this is the day that He's made. And I have rejoiced and been glad in it. And I'm so very grateful, you know, that I can get on my channel and show others a skill set. Maybe they do have it, but they're like, okay, I need to try and make that a little better. Let me see what's going on. Okay, I'm just adding a little more to broth. So the ratio for the gravy, for the flour and the broth is, this is just my recommendation. Start off slow and continue to add the broth and get what you like, the consistency you like. Some people like their gravy like water. They just want the juice and the flavor. Some like it real heavy. I like it medium. I don't like it real heavy, and I don't like watery gravy. Okay, so we have this on low, and so far I've added 4 cups of chicken broth. And I got just a smidgen here, which is a half a cup. Bam, it's going in. Waste not, want not. Times is tough. I try not to waste anything. I try to recycle everything. I don't waste anything. And if you made the gravy and you say, oh, that's too much gravy, you know what you do with it? You take and let it cool down all the way. And it has to be below 60 degrees. And then you can freeze it. Put it in a container and freeze it. Next time you need something for gravy, it's there and it's ready to go. I'm going to use all of this because I'm also going to be making mashed potatoes. So I want to make sure I have plenty of gravy to go over top of those mashed potatoes. Okay, so now our gravy is done. And what I'm going to do, carefully pour the gravy. I'm gonna bring it back to a boil though. Okay, now we brought this to a boil. So what's gonna happen now? And I'm gonna tell you a little secret. This gravy at this point is not as thick as I would, but it's still thick, because what's gonna happen is I'm going to pour this in here with the meat. The meat has flour on it. Once it cooks, that flour is going to break off and thicken this gravy right back up. So you have to know you got to get a feel for it. And I can't give you the ratio for the measurement for this, because this is just something that you got to eye. Alright, so now I'm going to take this and pick it up carefully. And I'm going to pour it over top of those pork chops. Look at that. And I wanted enough gravy to coat the top. You know, sometimes I do smothered chicken and I don't have enough gravy to coat it, but it'll still come out. So now this is coated. So I just want to make sure that some gravy went under there. So I just lift the pork chop up a little bit. That's all. Just lift it up. And it's smothered in those onions. And I can hear my baby sister now. You got too many onions in there. Well, girl, you ain't here, so don't even worry about it. I'll eat your portion. Okay, we're going to put the lid on it. Our oven is preheated to 350. Nice and hot. And we're going to put this in the oven for 45 minutes and let it finish cooking. Okay, so once I got the pork chops in the oven, Earlier, I had peeled 3 large russet potatoes for the mashed potatoes. And then I peeled them, cut them up, and put them in some water so they wouldn't turn brown on me. So basically, they're in chunks. It's some of them in here kind of big, but it's okay because they're all going to be mashed. But they're in water, just enough water, you know, to cover them. And I'm going to turn those on. And I'm going to turn them on medium until they come to a boil. And we'll come back to those. And then we'll check our smothered pork chops in about 25-30 minutes. I love these pots that I have because they're their own strainer. So I necessarily don't need a strainer. The potatoes are done. That's what I'm doing, guys and gals. Draining all the water off my potatoes to be the mashed potatoes. And see this lid on here? It is just fabulous. You have the holes already in it. You have big holes, you have little holes. So you just pick the side that you need and drain your food product. Isn't that neat? That is really neat. So I have my potatoes and they're out. And if you want to see what they look like cooked, so I let them cook for like 25 minutes and they're all soft. Now, what I'm not going to do today is use my mixer for a couple minutes in your mixer, in your blender, my hand mixer, or where's my KitchenAid? Oh, it's under here. Or my big mixer. I'm going old school. I'm going old school with the technique, but not with the way that the things that I'm adding. Growing up, we would do carnation evaporated milk. I still do it for the holidays. But I just stumbled upon this recipe, and I like a challenge, and I like to try new things. So let me give it a try. So this is a recipe I found from Classy Lady. And Classy Lady, if you're watching, I like it. It works for me. For those that are lactose intolerant, it might even work for you because certain things don't have milk in it, which the lactose, things in lactose is basically where we can't break down the sugars. So anyway, I have pure butter here, and I'm going to cut it up and add it to my potatoes. And I'm going to use a half a stick, which is 4 tablespoons, okay? 1 stick is 8 tablespoons, just so you'll know the measurements. Okay. And I'm going to stir this up. And I have a trivet under my pot because this is on my countertop. So it's a trivet under it to protect it. So I'm getting that butter all melted in there. Then next, I'm going to, you see this? Everybody's like, she got mayonnaise. Hello. This is what I'm going to use. Don't knock it till you try it. So let me just mash this up. And I have the old school mashed potato masher out. And growing up, we didn't have no hand mixer and all that stuff. And they used to have one that you crank and you turn a whisk that you would turn like that. I remember that. So this is the old school mashed potato masher. Okay? Now watch what happens to these mashed potatoes. When I get done, when Barbara Ann get done with them, you're going to be like, what? Now here I go with this mayonnaise. 1, 2, 3 tablespoons. And that was for 4 large russet potatoes. Okay, I'm going to stir that in. I'm telling you, she made a believer out of me. So you can check out Classy Lady's channel and see what, she's doing over there because she does some great things. Mash it up a little more. And I have my granddaughter, Danny. She's with me. Y'all know she's my curator. The girl be doing the thing. I add a little bit of garlic in here. So I have some garlic mashed potatoes, lightly on the black pepper. And I like coarse ground black pepper. The fine ground, if you don't, I don't know, I can't see it, and I'll put too much in my food. So I don't like doing that. And I didn't want these mashed potatoes 100% smooth, only because of my, the gravy and everything. So these are basically done. There's no salt in them, and the only reason you can add salt, if you add salt to yours, I would recommend before roasted potatoes only a teaspoon. If you have to put salt in there, but I am not going to add any salt because that gravy has salt in it, and that's enough. That's enough salt for me. But you can add salt, you know, and you can add your own flair to whatever. Okay, so I've stirred this all up, and these are our mashed potatoes, and Danny's going to get a close-up view of them. And as you can see, they're nice and fluffy, and, you know, they're good mashed potatoes. I know some of you are home to like, no, child, no. Don't knock it till you try it. Danny is my taste tester, so my baby is going to taste those mashed potatoes, and it'll be her first time trying them.
That's really good.
And if Danny says they're good, people. Okay, so we're going to put this back on the stove, and we're going to go over here. Let me get a hot glove now. I need the big boys, so I don't want to get burnt. And we're going to take out our pork chops, and we're getting ready to check them. So we have our chops here. Look at that. What are you talking about? Oh my OMG. Woo-wee. This is going to be some good eating today. So this is our final product. And this was in here for 45 minutes. And that's our smothered pork chops. And our mashed potatoes and gravy. Okay, so now I'm just going to plate this up. Actually bowl it up. So that you can see how I would serve it. But it would normally be on a plate. Later on, I'm going to do some sauteed spinach. I'm not going to do it on this segment. But that's going to be my vegetable. Because I have to have a vegetable. So, let's get this off. And let's get some mashed potatoes in here. And then let's get some pork chop in here. Let's put some gravy. Look at all that gravy. Got to be more careful. Woo! You talking about some good eating. This is the kind of food that gives you the itis. That you're so full and so content that you don't want to do anything else. But I got my taste tester here. It's a little hot. I'm trying to blow it for. It's a little hot. Be careful.
That's good. I love it.
Is it good?
It's good.
That's what I'm talking about. So look, you all try this recipe and hit me back and let me know how you liked it. And until next time, check me out on Facebook. And also, make sure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Barbara Ann Back to Basics. Because the way we going in this world, you're going to have to know the basics of life to survive. God bless.